Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 7. I think that's the week we're in. Let's see here. We are in, week 6. I'm sorry, week 6. Welcome to week 6. Today, I want to talk with you about a couple of things. First, I want to let you know that you'll see on here that I've changed a couple of these options. So I've changed these to complete one item in order to get you this video from student view. Those changes might have allowed you to see something as I'm in the process of recording this. However, you need to know that those are going to go back. So if for some reason you have not made it to weeks 2 through 4, or if for some reason you should have made it through that by now, but if for some reason you are still not seeing 5 through 7, please remember to go through and check the dots on the side just to make sure that you've completed everything, and to look over here to see what it is that you need to do. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's in this unit in 5 through 7. The first thing that I want to call your attention to is that there are 2 assignments here, and they are not published. They are not supposed to be viewable to you. However, I have seen that they are viewable to you through other students kind of giving me this feedback. So you'll see here, this thing right here tells me that it's not visible to you. So for some reason it's still visible to you. I apologize. I can't get it out of there without deleting it, and I can't delete it because I need that for future semesters. So just please ignore the stuff that says body language essay that's in here. We are going to be working on a different kind of descriptive essay. It is an assignment that I've done many times in years past. I took it out of the course for a couple of years, and now I'm kind of switching it back out. So right now you're going to find that this file for the essay is posted in the week 5 announcement. So make sure you go into the week 5 announcement and open up the file for the descriptive essay. This is what we're working on. This unit that's coming up, you are going to start seeing more things come in for the descriptive essay next week. The due date for the descriptive essay is going to be 2 weeks from next Tuesday. So that will be the 15th. And I'm going to move the academic refreshers due date back to the 15th as well. So as you're going through this, you're going to notice that there are 3 parts to this assignment. Some students get stuck in parts 1 and 2, and that's how they end up needing an essay revision after turning in the final draft of their essay for this assignment. So I want to give you a little overview of this so that you know what not to do. The first part of this is you're going to kind of conceptualize the experience that you're going to have. You're going to go out and you're going to kind of step outside of your comfort zone, perhaps break a social norm as you see it, something that's comfortable enough for you to complete for this assignment. And I want you to think about the things that you're going to see, feel, internally, externally, physically, emotionally, hear, smell. Basically, I want you to get a good idea using all of your 5 senses as well as your past experiences and your expectations. Conceptualize what it is that you're going to feel during this experiment. The next thing I want you to do is actually go out and experience it, and then I want you to write down as quickly as you can after doing this experiment everything that you felt, saw, thought, heard, imagined, tasted, and touched. This is where students normally get stuck because, one, they've got a narrative now. This is not a narrative essay, and they're not really sure how to turn their narrative into the descriptive essay. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about this as writing a regular essay Once you get to part 2, I want you to realize that part 2 is your research. So this is like if you went out and you read a book and you took some notes, you made some summaries, you are actually having some firsthand primary research going on here. And our best writing usually comes from something that we are not necessarily comfortable with and something that we know firsthand. So there are 2 purposes here and just what I'm asking you to do. I'm going to give you a sample introduction and body paragraph in just a minute to give you an idea of how you do this, how you turn this into an essay. But I want you to just keep in mind that whatever you take down as part of your narrative or you jot down as part of your notes, these are like taking notes from a book. So you're going to use this like you would a source. And then you're going to write your essay. It's a descriptive essay, so I do ask that you use 40 descriptive adjectives, active verbs, similes, metaphors. And I also ask that you learn how to write a paragraph, and part of that paragraphing is going to be to take those details and interpret and analyze them in relation to a social norm. So you'll see some sample structure here, and then I want you to know that I want you to be using primarily second person point of view for your descriptions of your evidence. So you want to put everything in the you form. You go here, you do this, you experience that. And then things like your thesis statement and your topic sentences and your analysis need to be in third person. And we'll see that also in the examples. Length, you want to aim for at least 3 pages. We are going to have 2 scholarly sources. I will post some more information about that. Those probably are going to be something on social norms, and probably maybe one on just social norms in general and one on social norms in relation to the one that you break. So this is how you get the assignment. In the module here in weeks 5 through 7, you're going to see eventually next week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday next week, the submission links pop up for this essay in case you kind of get ahead of the game. But mostly I want you working on getting your experience done, drafting your introduction in 1 body paragraph, working through the weeks 2 through 4 writing process module, and then coming down here, not 2 through 4, I'm sorry, working through the weeks 5 through 7 paragraphing and concluding module, and working on your academic refreshers that are going to be turned in at the same time. They're all going to be due at the same time that your essay is due. So if you think about this in terms of homework, if you think about this in terms of 8 activities, that is what I'm going to be asking you to do for these academic refreshers. This is a department created module. It is created specifically for Comp 1, and they ask that Comp 1 instructors use this. So we are using this. I don't control the form or what's there or the questions or anything else. So you're going to have to work through it in the way that it is laid out. And you can find, if I can find our syllabus here, you can find the information that you need to know in our syllabus about what is due for these academic refreshers. So you're going to see here on page, I'm not really sure, one of the first few pages, academic refreshers, 8 points. These are worth 1 each, and you have to do these sections. So there are 8 of them: subject verb agreement, active reading, so on and so forth. So come here and find out that information and work through here. My suggestion to everyone is to go through here and look for the PostTest for each of these. You'll notice there it says you need to score at least 0.8. I'm sorry to go back, but score at least 0.8. And you'll notice here that it says you have to score 90%. We're going with what the test is actually set up with. So we're going with the 0.8. As long as you make a 0.8, you can continue on. And you can take this as many times as you need to take it. There is something in here in this unit that says you need to turn in badges. You do not need to do that. That is something that was there from previous semesters. I don't know if I can get this out of here, but let me try real quick. This was something that was assigned in previous semesters because it used to be that students had to create another course and complete the work in the other course, and I couldn't see anything that was going on. And so they had this thing called badges that everyone turned in to prove that they had completed these lessons. So when you see that in here, if you see that in here, know that you do not have to submit badges for this. And I think I'm going to look for this a little later. Oh, there's one. So hopefully that's the only one. Okay. And I don't know if you guys see all this stuff or not in yours. You're not supposed to, but if you do, please just go by the ones that you see there. So I would advise you to go in and take the PostTest. This will let you know if you really need to review that section. So maybe you can go in and take the PostTest and pass everything, and you don't need to really spend all the time going through it. However, if you don't score 0.8, I would advise you to go back and read through the module, do the practice exercises, and get to the point of taking the PostTest again until you score a 0.8. You will need to score a 0.8 on all of these before you turn in your next essay. It won't let you turn in your essay until you've completed all these. So this is essential for you to do. And that's really it on that. There's another assignment that was due this week. It is going to a literary event. So if we were to go back in here and scroll up to the top, or second module here is called literary events, just for ease of access, just letting you know that you can kind of close these out so you can see only parts of the course that you're working on. You might have to do that every time. I do. And know that the first paper was due on October 6th. You can see instructions here. This is not an essay. This is just a response paper. And I ask you to go to something. It doesn't have to be in Orlando. You'll see in the instructions what you need to do. If you need an extension on this assignment, please just email and ask me. Know that the answer is yes, and get that in as soon as you can. Just email me so that I have documentation that you know that you're working on the assignment, you know that it's due. So when you get to the essay, I'm going to post a couple of things here for you, and I'm just going to look over some of the elements that you're going to need. Here are some examples for you. So the example thesis statement for this essay is: everyone should step outside their comfort zone to experience the thrill of asking someone out, because human beings haven't lived life if they haven't popped the question all by their lonesome. So this is a thesis plus a thesis statement of importance. You will want to have this. You should have seen this already in our course, that we need this thesis importance statement. You're also going to learn the components of the body paragraph. They are listed here. And then you're going to see these things in this paragraph here. So topic sentence. for the body paragraph. So we're going to organize the body paragraphs of our essay around specific things within your experience. It's not going to be the narrative. It's going to be something in there. So maybe it's the feelings that you have. Maybe it is the reactions that you have. Maybe it is the expectations that you have. It really can be anything that you want to pull out, but it does need to be something specific. So this one is about internal feelings that happen when you break a social norm. So topic sentence: internal organs tend to shift when someone breaks the social norm of asking someone they don't know out on a date. Notice that it's really general and it's in third person point of view. And then we're going to skip into the details. You were thinking of asking out the cute one in your 7th period class out on the most nerdy event of the school year, your homecoming dance. He has red curly hair, absolutely no body fat, and you think you might break him if you two actually danced to something faster than a John Legend song. As you walked toward him, your stomach shifted from side to side, the gallons of water you drank to prevent your mouth from sticking as you talked, swishing between your gallbladder and your liver. So notice here, these are all details, and then I get to my interpretation of details. And you're going to see the rest of this paragraph is description of details, descriptive details, and interpretation. Descriptive details and then interpretation, so back and forth until we get to the analysis or an analytical part of our paragraph. As you crept closer to the bleachers where he was standing, you could feel the liquid pressing against your esophagus. The words swelled, notice the active verb, from the pit of your stomach as though all of the increasing emotions were causing the words to grow and grow. By the time they found the back of your throat, you were almost choking on them. Again, here's the interpretation. This is the way nervousness physically manifests. Hi, you said, right before passing out, hitting your head on the floor and throwing up on your probably not going to be date. Again, detail, interpretation. This is the analytical part. These are situations you must overcome if you want to ask someone out. The more people practice and overcome the struggle, the more they have to gain in life. So these are all components that you're going to want to look for. I suggest for this essay, you write your body paragraphs first and then write your introduction. Some students do this already. It's just a strategy to play around with and see how you like it. So you can see here the introduction components: hook, broad to narrow, introduction of topic. I pulled in use of definition again. It's always good to use. Narrowing to your specific experience and putting it in third person. And then I'm pulling out this improper thesis statement here. And I'm going to put in a real thesis statement in third person point of view and the thesis importance. So here's the introduction. The hook is, are you kidding me? I would never think of dating someone like you. Real or imagined, these are the words that many people fear hearing when pondering the possibility of asking someone out on a date. This fear, broad to narrow introduction here. This fear can begin as early as elementary school and can go on for the remainder of one's life if a person does not find a way to overcome the hurdle that this nightmare scenario can cause. A phobia is an extreme or unnatural fear. And usually in the case of asking someone out, people are battling with the fear of rejection. Fear of rejection can cost someone a job, a trip of a lifetime, and the most meaningful part of human experience, the relationship or deep, often rare shared connection between two human beings. These fears often develop because of things people learn as part of the development of their own sense of self-worth and certain social norms. Here's our definition. And again, we want this to be our topic, right? We're writing about breaking a social norm. So social norms has to be the topic of our essay. Social norms are sets of rules, often unspoken, that people learn throughout their lives. sometimes very specifically from other people, and more often generally through observation of customs and shame. And then here we break down into the narrative part. So this is how we switch over from the general to the specific experience. You have the fear of asking someone out, and it developed through an experience in which your whole family shamed you for proposing to someone in your third grade class, that should say, and inviting that person to a date to the dentist. Until this point in your near adulthood, it has ruled your life. But a friend you met while watching Be More Chill convinced you that you could end your lifetime of loneliness by understanding your discomfort's origins and taking a few steps. And then here's our thesis statement, again, shifting away from the you. Everyone should step outside their comfort zone to experience the thrill of asking someone out, because human beings haven't lived life if they haven't popped the question all by their lonesome. And notice I took out here in this paper, I'm going to talk to you about, how that fear can be overcome. So that might have been a thesis statement that could have worked in the previous years of your life, but that's not the kind of statement that we want to have here. So I'm gonna post that for you, and you're going to be able to kind of have this access to these things that you're going to need for your next essay. These are the things that you need to be working on. So working on this experience, getting it done. Work on at least drafting a body paragraph in your introduction. Work on your academic refreshers, and work on your literary event if you haven't already done so. And appreciate the number of you who came out to our literary event on campus this past week. It was nice meeting you guys, if I met you, and thanks. There's another event coming up on October 29th. It is with Sean Welcome and Raymond Jimenez, and they're two local spoken word artists, so this is going to be a really good event. You can find that information here on this link. So email me if you have any questions, and I will talk to you again soon. Keep your eyes posted. I'm also going to be having a live session soon, probably the beginning of next week, probably Monday. So if you are having trouble in the course and really want to kind of be part of an online meeting, we're going to have a meeting space where you can ask questions, and I'm going to answer them there. So until then,